So you know how I said I was never, ever going to homebrew any other races in the Forgotten Race review because I had too much on my plate, too hard to work, all that stuff? Well, patronage at any tier will get you whatever you want here at BDG. Welcome back, my friends, to some more homebrewing in the Forgotten Race review. Today, Rantfield requests we whip up the troll. The troll's actually pretty easy. Hey, it's my cat. Are you gonna say hi or are you just gonna come over here? Or alternatively, he's just gonna meow through this whole recording and it's like 10 minutes of editing it out. I hate everything, but gonna do it in 2E2. Yeah, there it is. If you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, listen to my cat say meow, tell a friend, or Achilles will come for you. Today, this episode of the Forgotten Race review is brought to you in part by the man who requested it, Mr. Rantfield. Thank you for your support, my friend. We'll work on the big end screen credits sometime over Christmas, but for now, here we go. Alrighty, so in Planet Earth, a troll is a mythical cave-dwelling being depicted in folklore as either a giant or a dwarf, typically having a very ugly appearance. On modern-day Planet Earth, they live in their parents' basement and exist entirely to crap on people on the internet. I really thought about digging up some old screenshots of people who have been kind of crappy on Black Dragon Gaming at me, but I ain't got the time or inclination. You know what they say, kids, don't feed the trolls. They, of course, come from Norse mythology and Scandinavian folklore, dwelling in isolated rocks, mountains, or caves, living together in small family units. And they are depicted a billion different ways in pop culture. Everything from Middle-earth to cute dolls and back again. In Dungeons & Dragons, the troll was one of the very first monsters ever put out. It was in the white box. And they've been able to regenerate that hallmark ability of theirs from jump, and they've been with us every edition of D&D, every edition of Pathfinder, with about 1 billion variants based on whether you lived in the cold or the warm or the rock or the marsh or the scrag, which is water, and you can't live in a scrag, but you can live in a water. I'm not rambling, you're rambling. In Pathfinder, we are typically looking at a monstrous giant with a rough green hide, clawed hands, and a bestial face with a hideous tusked underbite. They regenerate all damage not inflicted through fire or acid, and a full-sized troll can regrow from even a tiny little scrap of flesh. Troll young are raised by the females who drive away adult males, as the males would otherwise eat their own young. Delicious. The females live in family groups, casting out or killing, usually by drowning or starvation, because I guess that would cheat regeneration, fair enough, any members who show weakness. Males live as solitary hunters, and most of them believe they were created by the demon lord Urexel, who likes to test them by inflicting upon them incursions of ogres and humans, storms, and worst of all, forest fires. So that's fun. In any case, for those stats, a male troll reaches adulthood at, I feel like regeneration means these guys are putting themselves together pretty quickly. Let's say 1 year. There might be something somewhere that contradicts this, but whatever. Though they would be considerably taller if they stood upright. Male trolls range in height probably anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall, 2.4 to 3 meters. Females coming in at 10 to 12 feet or 3 to 3.6 meters. Males weigh about 300 pounds or 136 kilograms. Females coming in a little closer to 500 or 226 in pounds or kilograms respectively. And honestly, call me crazy here, but if you're constantly regenerating, if you're constantly putting your organs back together, do you die of old age? I have no idea. I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. I don't want to build something too powerful. Hey, speaking of too powerful, let's look at these real dumb ability score adjustments, shall we? This one might not be appropriate for your 15-point buy adventures, but as I break down the stat block from old Bestiary 1, looks like a troll receives a +4 to its strength and constitution, a +2 to its dexterity, a -4 to its intelligence and charisma, and a -2 to wisdom. They are large giants with a base speed of 30 feet, scent, low light vision, dark vision out to 60 feet, a whopping +5 natural armor bonus, a reach of 10 feet, kinda rare for the large creatures, you know, usually it's space 10, reach 5, not for these guys. They've got a bite that deals a d8, they've got 2 claws that deal a d6, and they can rend ya. More importantly, a troll has regeneration 5 deactivated by acid or fire. Ah, but wait, Tabby! What is regeneration? Golly, I'm so glad you asked. A creature with this ability is difficult to kill. Creatures with regeneration heal damage to themselves at a fixed rate as with fast healing, but they can't die so long as their regeneration is still functioning. Although creatures with regeneration still fall unconscious when their hit points are below 0. Certain damage types, typically acid and fire, cause a creature's regeneration to stop functioning on the round following the attack. During this round, the creature does not heal any damage and can die normally. The creature's descriptive text describes the types of damage that can cause regeneration to cease functioning. Attacks that don't deal hit point damage are not healed by regeneration. Regeneration also does not restore hit points lost from starvation, suffocation, or thirst. Regenerating creatures can regrow lost portions of their bodies and can reattach severed limbs or body parts if they are brought together within 1 hour of severing. Severed parts that are not reattached wither and die normally. A creature must have a con score to have the regeneration ability. And there you have it. Now, in 2nd edition, obviously, this is far too powerful. Actually, fun fact, the Troll of Pathfinder 2e has regeneration 20. Remember when we were all excited for Kingmaker and 2e? Maybe not now, I don't know. But a long time ago on BDG, we did have a Trollkin, though I don't really remember exactly how the character was built, the RP used, so on and so forth. But indeed, they were a Trollkin, humanoid with troll-ish abilities, I think. Maybe Enderling was a full troll. I digress. I think a humanoid who's part troll is certainly fairer and more balanced, and that template and the regeneration abilities from Troll Blood have existed for a while, so let's do it in 2e as a heritage. Not a full ancestry, just something everybody could take if something alchemical experiment or something Urexel is pleased. When you adopt the Trollkin heritage, you gain regeneration 1 per 2 levels, deactivated by acid or fire, but weakness 1 per 2 levels to fire. Sorta like how the 2e troll has it, but a little dumbed down, because handing someone regenerate 20 is probably a little much. For some feats that heritage might get, at 1st level, have a Jaws unarmed strike that deals a d8 of piercing. At 1st level also have claws that deal a d6 of slashing. At 1st, get dark vision. At 5th, you can rend with your claws, which means you automatically inflict damage with your claws as an action, assuming you've hit with both your claws this turn. At 5th, get critical specialization with your bite or claws. And at 13th level, increase your proficiency with your claws or jaws unarmed strikes to the highest weapon proficiency level you possess. Now, there's about 1 billion troll variants that work about 1 billion different ways. Certainly we'd be here all day covering every single solitary last troll variant, but what we can do is talk a little bit about the elephant in the room for letting a troll or trollkin into your game. That regeneration is really good. A character who cannot die might as well be Superman. That's why fighting trolls classically is pretty hard, especially for a party that doesn't have the means of doing acid or fire damage. That said, throw an acid splash cantrip out, ping them for a d3 after they've taken 99 billion damage from like a greatsword crit, and they'll immediately combust and die. But if you don't have that, the best you're looking at here is to knock the troll unconscious and then run from it. Anyone ever play the Temple of Elemental Evil CRPG? You should. It's good. There's definitely a troll in the dungeon. Thought you should know. And when I played this game at like 8 years old, I did not know how to deal with trolls. So we kept getting up and kept starting initiative again. And then I'd whack him and he'd go down, and I'm watching him heal and I have no idea what's happening. They also appear probably in the first Neverwinter Nights, but also in the second one. Thankfully, Quara is more than happy to be like, ah, yes, burn it with fire. And there it was. They're also obviously in Kingmaker. Honestly, trolls kind of feel like a rite of passage monster. And by that logic, they appear all the time. Your opponents probably know how to deal with you, or at least could figure it out with a simple knowledge check. Y'all know I don't use immunities in my games. If you've watched Carrion Crown, you've seen Geldern use illusions on things that should be immune to them. You've seen people use magic on constructs for a while. I don't think it's super fair for a game master to respond to powerful characters by saying, no, that doesn't work. That's why the Minotaurs and man-eating Aurochs in Wrath of the Righteous could be caught flat-footed. We eroded natural cunning just a little bit, so Kieran wouldn't just be shut off and pinging things with rocks. That said, if your party has something defensively like this that will cause them to regenerate forever, I do think it's fair for the majority of bad guys to be able to respond to this. Maybe not at first, maybe not all the time, but consider, as you level up, people are going to hear about you. Word of your exploits, as it were. You can't do all the cool stuff you do in TTRPGs without people talking about it, to say nothing of if the Troll Paladin of Iomedae comes waltzing into Magnimar, people are going to talk. And when the bad guys hear that, and suddenly they're all carrying flaming weapons, or there's somebody with an alchemist fire, or acid splash, or even just like a torch that's lit, to use as an improvised weapon to whap you in the face, it's definitely fair, and it forces that player to think on their feet a little bit. It's like Superman and Kryptonite. They're real good until they're not. When they're not, that's when, honestly, the creativity begins. It's sort of like what's happening in Carrion Crown right now, with people coming up with ideas from anywhere they can to try to beat that boss. But I digress. What do y'all think? Have we played a troll? Have we fought a troll? Have you used trolls in your campaigns? Throw it in the comments, and thank y'all so much for watching. Not sure what's coming out next week. Might be a sponsored video for some third-party stuff. Might be something else. Who knows. Until then, my friends, I'll see you next time.